All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready to dive in. Today, we're going to shine a light on something that's way more exciting than it might sound at first.
More exciting than lighting. I'm intrigued. Color me curious.
Well, you'll see, you'll see. We're looking into SVIZONA lighting solutions.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with SVIZONA. What's the angle today?
Well, we're going deep into their own company docs, and let me tell you, what's really grabbed me already is this kind of contrast they've got. They're all about cutting-edge tech.
Right. They've definitely got that reputation.
But, here's the thing. They're also super committed to sustainability. Like, deeply.
Interesting. So not just the flashy innovation?
Nope, not just flash. We're talking lighting systems that can actually respond to you, to the environment. Some even try to mimic natural daylight.
Mimic daylight, huh? I've heard of that, but haven't seen it in action.
And get this, data-driven insights too. This is not your grandma's light bulb, my friend.
Definitely piqued my interest now. That kind of approach, I mean, you see a lot of companies talking up either the super high-tech stuff or being all about social responsibility.
Right, got to pick a lane, right.
Seems like it, but SVIZONA, they're going for both. Full throttle on both, and that's a tough balance to strike.
You're not kidding. So I'm really keen to figure out how they're pulling it off.
Me too. Let's get into it.
Okay, before we get ahead of ourselves, let's flip the switch on the basics here. Who is SVIZONA at their core?
Good place to start.
So right from their mission statement, and I love a good mission statement, they say it's all about harnessing technology to drive, ready for it, both innovation and sustainability.
They don't shy away from the big goals.
Nope. They want to be a global leader in, get this, industrial solutions. They're talking about transforming entire industries through these sustainable practices. Bold. And they're moving fast. I mean, established in 2017, that makes them, what, like 6, 7 years old?
Relatively young, you're right.
Young company, but already claiming a global reach. Ambitious, to say the least. Ambitious, absolutely. And their vision statement, oh man, it really doubles down on all that. Innovation, sustainability, quality, those are their big 3 pillars. But they don't stop there. Customer needs, ethical practices, working together, all this gets emphasized too. It all points to this like really purpose-driven approach to technology.
And it makes you wonder, right? I mean, this whole blend of purpose-driven tech, but they're laser-focused on lighting, of all things.
Right, you'd think they'd be in like self-driving cars or something.
Exactly. So who are they targeting with all this? What kind of customer are they after?
Good question. It definitely says to me they're not just going for the cheapest option, you know.
Right. Got to be more to it.
They're looking for those customers who want the whole package, smart, efficient, and eco-conscious all at once.
It's a trifecta.
Could be businesses trying to, like, cut costs and eat their carbon footprint at the same time, win-win. Or even, you know, individuals, but ones who are serious about sustainable living, the kind of folks who actually care about where their energy comes from.
Folks with a Tesla in the garage and solar panels on the roof.
Exactly. And that brings us to, drum roll please, their Interact platform. This is their connected lighting system, and it's where things get really interesting tech-wise.
Right, lay it on me. What's so cool about Interact?
Okay, so picture this. Lights that adjust themselves automatically based on the time of day, whether anyone's actually in the room, even how much natural light's already coming in.
That's the kind of stuff I always thought was more sci-fi than reality.
It's getting real, my friend.
But I gotta ask, is this just about, you know, dimming the lights for ambiance? Or is there more to it?
Oh, so much more. It's like a whole different way to think about how we even interact with our environment, you know? Like, first off, energy savings. This is huge. Interact systems, they can adjust the light levels based on, like, a ton of factors. Occupancy, what's happening outside, all that. And these days, everyone's talking about carbon footprints, right?
Absolutely. Front page news constantly.
So this is a big deal, not just for like saving the planet, which is obviously important, but for any business that's trying to like not go bankrupt from their energy bills.
Makes sense. That feeds right into SVIZONA's whole sustainability thing. But they're also making a big deal about productivity.
Productivity? How so?
They're saying that well-lit environments, done right, can actually make people feel better, work better, be more productive.
Now, that's an angle I hadn't considered.
And these systems, they can help create that optimal lighting for whatever you're doing.
Okay, I gotta admit, if my office had this kind of setup, I'd probably get a lot more done. How about you?
I wouldn't say no to a little productivity boost. They're talking up the safety side, too, and remote management. even using the phrase peace of mind, which always gets people's attention.
Peace of mind. Yeah, that's smart marketing. But what about, like, in practice?
Think about it, especially in industrial settings, right? You need that safety aspect. Imagine being able to like instantly trigger emergency lighting if something happens, or knowing everyone can evacuate safely during a power outage. And remote management means less hands-on maintenance, more efficiency, win-win for any business owner.
Makes sense. Though, gotta say, what really got me excited was the data part.
The data. Tell me more.
So imagine your lighting system's actually collecting valuable data about usage, how much energy is getting used, even maintenance needs.
That's where the connected part really shines. Gather all that info and then boom, you can use it to make smarter decisions, optimize everything.
That's the future right there. Data-driven insights from your lights. Sounds kind of crazy, but I'm here for it.
It's all about those unexpected connections, like knowing exactly when and where lighting's being used. That can help manage entire buildings better, save money, energy, the whole 9 yards. SVIZONA's tapped into something powerful there with Interact.
All right, so we got this incredible platform, but what about the actual lights themselves? What are they offering? Let's take a tour of their product portfolio, shall we?
Oh, be prepared. They've got a lot to choose from. SVIZONA's got something for everyone, it seems like. From massive industrial spaces to regular homes, indoors, outdoors. They do it all.
So we talking like bare bones bulbs to fancy chandeliers. What's the range?
Way beyond that, we're talking sleek, minimalist downlights, the kind of stuff you'd see in a high-end magazine.
Ooh, fancy.
But also heavy-duty industrial lights, the kind that could probably survive a hurricane. They're clearly catering to, like, vastly different needs and budgets.
That's smart. Cast a wide net. Anything else that caught your eye?
Well, there's the track lighting for when you need ultimate versatility.
Track lighting, classic.
Yeah, but with their tech twist, of course. You could use it to highlight artwork, create mood lighting, even adjust it for different tasks throughout the day. Flexibility is the name of the game.
Love that. What about something really modern architectural?
Oh, they've got that too. Architectural linear lights. You can adapt them to any space. They look super sleek and contemporary.
I can picture that. But with all this variety, anything really stand out to you? Like, what resonates the most and why?
It's tough to pick just one. I will say the sheer range of stuff they offer, it kind of suggests they're aiming to be super adaptable, you know? Like whatever a client needs, SVIZONA wants to have the answer. But honestly, all this light and stuff, it gets even more interesting when you see how they tailor it to specific needs. For example, they have a whole division dedicated to healthcare lighting.
Healthcare lighting. Now that sounds super specialized. What makes it different from, say, the lights in my living room?
Well, it's all about understanding the unique needs of hospitals and clinics, right? Think about it. Patient comfort is key. But you also got to factor in the needs of the staff who are working crazy hours, often under a ton of pressure.
So it's not just about having enough light. It's about having the right kind of light for very specific situations.
Precisely. SVIZONA talks about creating lighting that can actually, like, aid in patient recovery, reduce stress for both patients and staff, even improve overall safety and efficiency in healthcare settings.
That's wild. It really shows how lighting can be so much more than just functional. It can actually have a real impact on how people feel, how they heal, how they work.
Absolutely. And it doesn't stop there. They've also got specialized lighting solutions for tunnels and underpasses.
Tunnels and underpasses. Okay, that might not sound as exciting as healthcare lighting, but I can see why it's important.
Oh, it's crucial. Safety and visibility, especially in those long, often dimly lit stretches of road. It's a big deal.
You know what? I've never really thought about the lighting in tunnels before, but you're right. It makes a huge difference. And not just for drivers, but for pedestrians and cyclists, too.
Exactly. And it's a great example of how SVIZONA's thinking about the bigger picture. They're taking their expertise in lighting and applying it to these essential infrastructure projects that, frankly, most of us never even think about. But perhaps the most futuristic area they're working in is what they call direct view lighting.
Direct view lighting. All right, you've officially piqued my curiosity again.
Think giant LED displays, video walls, basically. The future of visual communication, all powered by light.
Okay, now that sounds exciting. Are we talking Times Square on steroids here?
It's definitely pushing the boundaries of what we traditionally think of as lighting, that's for sure. SVIZONA seems to be betting big on this technology, and it'll be really interesting to see how it evolves in the next few years.
It sounds like they're really trying to position themselves as more than just a lighting company, but as, like, a provider of comprehensive solutions for all sorts of industries and applications.
Absolutely. They're aiming to be at the forefront of well, everything. Technological advancement and these sustainable practices. And that combination, that's what makes them so fascinating.
Totally agree. But let's be real. Even with the coolest tech, things can go wrong. What happens when you need help? Do they just, like, leave you in the dark?
Thankfully, no. They actually offer 247 in-house technical support.
No.
It's pretty impressive, right? Most companies outsource that stuff, but SVIZONA keeps it all in-house. Really shows their commitment to customer satisfaction. They're not just selling a product. They want to make sure their clients have support throughout the entire life cycle of their lighting solutions.
Okay, now that is peace of mind. So if anyone listening is ready to reach out and learn more, here's how to contact SVIZONA. Their office is located at Office 167, second floor, Omer bin Yusuf Building, Hamdan Street, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Give them a call at +971-2642-2165 or shoot them an email at contact.us@svzona.com. And of course, check out their website, https://svzona.com.
So we've covered a lot of ground here today, from mission statements to futuristic displays, from energy efficiency to mimicking the color temperature of natural light. What are your main takeaways so far?
Honestly, I'm kind of blown away by how much thought and innovation goes into something as seemingly simple as lighting. SVIZONA has really proven that it's not just about brightness anymore. It's about creating environments that are efficient, sustainable, even beneficial for, like, our well-being.
Couldn't agree more. They're not just selling products, they're offering solutions to some of the biggest challenges we're facing today. Climate change, creating healthier spaces, they're tackling it all. And they're doing it across so many different industries. Healthcare, infrastructure, those mind-blowing LED displays, it's really something.
It's clear they're aiming to be a major player in shaping how we light our world, literally, in the years to come. But here's the big question for everyone listening. In a world that's increasingly focused on both technology and sustainability, how might companies like SVIZONA shape our future environments and experiences?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think we're going to see a continued emphasis on creating spaces that are not just, pretty to look at, but also energy efficient, healthy, and responsive to our individual needs.
Imagine walking into a room and the lighting just automatically adjusts to your preferences. It knows if you're trying to focus on work, relax, and unwind, or even need a little energy boost. Or picture entire cities illuminated by these smart, interconnected systems that conserve energy and minimize light pollution. It's like stepping into a sci-fi movie, but, in a good way, where the tech actually makes life better, not creepier.
Right, not the dystopian version. And I think that's key here. With SVIZONA, at least, they're not just focused on the tech for tech's sake. They're really thinking about the human impact.
Which is what makes this whole thing so fascinating. It's not just about light bulbs, is it?
Nope, not at all. It's bigger than that. It's about how we use this technology to create a better future, I guess. Literally brighter A&D, figuratively, right?
Exactly. And SVIZONA is, like, right there on the front lines, showing everyone how innovation and responsibility, they can actually go together.
What I find exciting is they're not just thinking about the technology itself, they're thinking about how it impacts people. Like whether it's creating a calmer environment for patients in a hospital.
We talked about that earlier, yeah.
Or using data to optimize the lighting for maximum productivity in an office. They're putting people at the center of their solutions.
Human-centered design, love that. And that's what makes this so much more than just a, hey, let's talk about light bulbs episode, right?
Totally. It's about the bigger picture, how we can use technology to make things, better.
A better, brighter future. And on that note, I think it's time we wrap this up. Any final thoughts for our listeners out there pondering the future of illumination?
Well, I'd say this. As we all become, let's face it, more and more reliant on technology, it's more important than ever to think about the impact it has, not just on, the environment, but on us, on our well-being.
Our mental bandwidth is already stretched thin.
Exactly. And companies like SVIZONA, they're showing us that it's possible to have both. We can have a world where tech makes life better while it also respecting the planet.
Well said. This deep dive has been, honestly, eye-opening. I'm coming out of this feeling way more optimistic about the future of lighting and, honestly, technology in general. Who knew there was so much to discover in the world of, light?
It just goes to show technology is always changing, always finding new ways to improve things, solve problems. And as we've seen with SVIZONA, sometimes the most unexpected innovations, they come from the simplest of things. Like who'd have thought? The humble light bulb.
Right. So for anyone out there looking for cutting-edge lighting solutions and ones that are as smart as they are sustainable, SVIZONA is definitely a company worth checking out.
Totally agree. And to everyone listening, keep this in mind. The future's looking bright, and it's being shaped by companies who are committed to both those things, innovation and de-responsibility. Can't ask for much more than that.
Great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this, well, illuminating journey. Until next time, stay curious. It really is like a glimpse into what's possible.
Yeah, and hopefully a more sustainable, human-centered future, too.
Fingers crossed. And it's companies like SVZona that are like paving the way, showing everyone that it doesn't have to be either. You can have awesome tech that's also good for the planet.
Exactly. And for everyone listening, I'd leave you with this thought. The more reliant we become on technology, and let's face it, that's only going to increase, the more important it is to consider the impact, right? Not just on the planet as a whole, but on us, individual.
Our well-being, our mental health, all that.
All of it, yeah. And SVZona, they're a great example of a company that's not just like churning out gadgets. They're actually thinking about these bigger questions, trying to make tech that serves humanity, not the other way around.
Well said. I got to say, this deep dive has been incredibly eye-opening. I'm walking away from this feeling a lot more optimistic about the future of, well, everything, really.
Glad to hear it. It's easy to get caught up in the doom and gloom sometimes, but there are companies out there doing some really amazing things.
And SVZona is definitely one of them. Who knew there was so much to discover in the world of, well, light?
It just goes to show technology is always evolving, always finding new ways to improve our lives, address those big challenges. And sometimes the most unexpected innovations, they come from the simplest of things. Like, who would have thought? The light bulb.
Right. Talk about a bright idea. So for anyone out there looking for cutting-edge lighting solutions, the kind that are as smart as they are sustainable, SVZona is definitely a company worth checking out.
Absolutely. And to all our listeners, remember, the future is bright, and it's being shaped by companies who get it, who are committed to both innovation and responsibility. That's a win-win in my book.
Couldn't agree more. That's a fantastic note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this, well, illuminating journey. Until next time, stay curious.